Okay guys, welcome back. This is HD StarCraft and I'm back with game number 2 between MarineKing.Prime and MilleStephano from IPL Group B. Sometimes I have these little brain farts when I'm casting and I have to prepare myself for the opening little lines, and then I prepared myself for that one, but then I just kind of farted for a second. Anyways, it's very hot in my room right now. I had to turn on the AC in the middle of the last game, and it's now blowing nice fresh air along my face, so to keep me reinvigorated for this cast. You know, while the game's kind of just loading up a little bit and starting out, just wanted to say that what was I going to say? I was going to say Diablo 3 has been awesome. I hope you guys have tuned in to my hardcore video streaming that I've been doing. Last night I almost died to something called a Fallen Maniac, which is like a Baneling, and it detonates on you, and one of them took out over half my HP, and I nearly died. Also had a very interesting run into Belial with the More Dots commentator commentating in the background. More dots! Odds groups left, even groups right. If you guys haven't seen that, it's a World of Warcraft video. Hilarious. Type it in on YouTube. You should be able to find it. And I'm going to upload the best content from the stream into my journal number 2 on YouTube. If you guys did miss it, you guys are not going to want to miss it on my YouTube channel. You want to see this. It's pretty damn funny. And if you were wondering what hardcore is, basically you only have one life. You play Diablo 3, you have one life, you die, you're done, you're over, and you are dead. So rest in peace, and may your souls be remembered along with the others in the halls of heroes. So let's see what happens here. Stephano gonna be the pink Zerg, and he spawned on the top left of Antigua Shipyard. No surprise here, you know, he's just going for a right away into an expansion. And down at the bottom right, we have MarineKing.Prime. He's getting a barracks at the front. No quick expansion, you know, command center first. It's pretty common for Terran players to go one racks expand. They can in command center first, but it is somewhat risky if the Zerg should do some one-base strategy. But here we go. MarineKing going with the command center down on the low ground, and you know, if neither player cheeses in this matchup, it really does come down to the mid game. That's when the game really starts. And I would have to say, if you asked me right now, HD, what match do you think is the most stable, the most dynamic? I would have to say, hands down, Zerg versus Terran. It has so many possibilities for you to come back and win the game if you're behind. It also, you know, if your army is inferior to the other player's army, your micro can pull you ahead. That's the beauty of it. The other matchups are starting to get there, but this one has definitely fully developed. And so it's very fun to watch because you need to pay attention to Zergling flanks, you need to pay attention to the Marine splits, all of these things. One little mistake, I mean, burrowed Banelings detonating as mines, all these things can count. Marine drops where you don't control your Marines, you know? It's a lot of different things, high risk and high reward things that can happen in this match, which make it very, very fun to watch. Now we have 2 gases coming up following the command center opening after the barracks, so we're absolutely going to see the tech come out right away here. Usually what Terran players do is they get the stim, they get the combat shields as soon as possible. They also use the initial first 100 gas into the factory, because the factory is kind of like the launching point, the starting point for all tech for the Terran. You can't get, for example, starport. You can't go into starport without factory. You can't get your siege tanks without factory. You can't go into +2 weapons if you need to get to +2. So it's a really good starting point, and on top of that, you need the Hellions in the early game. It's almost 100% common that Terran players will get Hellions in the early game. The thing is, though, you know, in the last one, MarineKing said, I'm going to make a bunch of Hellions. I'm going to make 2 factories, and I'm going to make mass Hellions with Blue Flame upgrade. That just doesn't work against Stephano. When he's going roaches, it's just, no, don't do it. So I'm glad that MarineKing is this time going with a more standard build. He actually has a pretty fast starport here. And, you know, that's why I was saying with the early gas, usually Terran players can go with quick stim, or they can go with the Banshee from the fast starport. So I guess MarineKing here is going to go with the Banshee. It's a little gimmicky, but hey, it can do a lot of damage if Stephano isn't ready for it, if he doesn't scout it. And he really doesn't have any overlords anywhere at all. The closest overlord literally is over here, which you might as well be Tokyo to, I don't know, the Philippines. That's how far it is. So, well, I don't know, man. I think that Stephano could be in some trouble if he does not scout the Cloak and the Banshee coming. And the beauty of this really is that Marine King has Hellions at the front door, so it's feigning that, you know, I'm going with the standard factory into bio. This is what most Terran players do, and, you know, it prompts Stephano to make these roaches, which he probably would have made anyways. But now his anti-air options are going to be severely limited, and oh man, I love it. I love it. Even if the Banshee doesn't do that much damage, Marine King has a command center again to fall back to. So, you know, it's like all roads lead to Rome here. The last game he tried to do Blue Flame Hellion into a quick third. This time he's going to do Cloak Banshee into a quick third, and I really like the Cloak Banshee into a quick third a lot more. Here comes the Banshee. It's actually already traveled the terrain of the map very quickly, and now it's inside the base, but Stephano has Spore Crawlers coming up, and I think, wow, Stephano just so prepared. Even though he didn't know it's coming, he just has Evo Chambers ready to go for the upgrade and for the Spore Crawler, and I don't know if this Banshee will really pay off, but you have to think of it in another way. You have to think, hey, Marine King does have a third command center here. So while the Banshee didn't get that many kills, if it in fact keeps Stephano tied up here into the background and doesn't let Stephano attack, maybe it will pay off. Maybe it will pay off because the aggression, the posturing of this Banshee will let Marine King secure that third command center and get a bunch of SCVs out. We'll have to see. Banshee right now attacking this hatchery, trying to take it down. The little scorpion inside is like, help me! I'm under attack! And Stephano coming in with the Spore Crawler. Unfortunately, the creep has not spread upwards yet. Now it has, with the hatchery plotting down, or plopping down. And the Spore Crawler going to come in. It needs to not die, otherwise these queens cannot get detection. And he has enough for transfuse. No, he doesn't. Oh, yeah, he does. So one transfuse on the hatchery. Spore Crawler not in range to see the Banshees. Oh my god, is Stephano going to lose his hatchery? It's going to be close. No, Warboard Banshee coming in. He needs to transfuse the hatchery, trying to transfuse to keep it up. And MemKP just a little too greedy there. I think, you know, there were so many queens. The possibility of transfuse was there. And I'm so surprised that he just kind of left his Banshees. I thought for sure he was going to pack up and run away, but he just lost almost every single one for really no reason at all, just a bleeding hatchery. I guess it's a little premature to say a little no reason at all because, hey, let's face it, if Marine King wants to go drop there, that hatchery is very close to dying. Although Zerg units biologically regenerate, and that includes buildings, you know, it takes a while. So if MKP wants to kill off that hatchery, I don't see any reason why he can't. He just needs to send a medevac over there, and right now he needs to start medevac production to back up his marine forces, although he doesn't really have that many marines, and here we go. I don't know what the heck those roaches thought they were doing. Way extended roaches, and they just ran into an entire army, so all of a sudden MKP kind of getting the lead back because he killed off roaches for free. Every little unit counts. In StarCraft 2, you can't just throw in roaches like that. This isn't a charity, and I don't know. I don't know what Stephano thought he was doing right there, but he did lose his advantage, and now going to try to come back up with that hatchery at the gold. Also like how he's getting, or also notice how he's getting 2-2 and roach speed, as well as, what is that upgrade? 2-2 enters roach speed, the other one went away. And let's see if he can hold on to this gold hatchery. It's going to be pretty important for him to do so. No tank support here, so he should be able to repel this attack. Don't know what he's taking his sweet time for. Now he's going to get up on the high ground, and really, I think he should run over this army. He's actually too scared of the Banshee, but it's just one Banshee, and he could have actually surrounded, I think, the Hellions. But no, I guess he's not going to do it. No, he's just going to stay on the high ground here and hold the Xel'Naga Tower. And I guess all in all, it wasn't too bad of an idea because he really didn't know how many tanks were in the background. And he just wants to play conservatively and defensively right now. He's not thinking, look, I'm going to attack into my opponent's base, because he just tried that with roaches and it was pointless. He's thinking right now, I'm going to hold the Xel'Naga Tower and I'm going to play defensively. Now, oh wow, that was really smart by MKP. He sends the Viking to the south, clears out all the overlords down here. There's no possibility to get scouted, and he loaded up 2 medevacs. He's actually sending the medevacs to the top right. Well, maybe he's just clearing the drop lanes for later. And those 2 medevacs going to the top right do mean that this army is a little bit weaker, and they haven't really dropped yet, but they're on the way right now. And Stephano has the possibility to make something happen. He's going to try to break through the rocks leading into the third. Note, Stephano at 87 over 75, but really not holding that secure of a base advantage because MKP's right on his heels, but he gets the fungal growth on the 2 medevacs. Brilliant! Unreal! And he's gonna fungal. Chain fungal? No, he misses the last one. Or perhaps he didn't have enough energy. No, he didn't. And so, oh wow, that was such a break for MKP because he could have lost both. But he was able to save 1 medevac, and he's going to be able to cancel a hatchery as a result of that. So maybe all is not all is lost here with this medevac drop, as it did kind of pay off by killing off a hatchery or at least forcing it to cancel. And now he's going to pull back. Now, we are kind of approaching into the late game of Zerg versus Terran, which typically starts around 15-20 minutes plus, and we're in 15 minutes now, and look at how fast Stephano has already gotten up to high tech. It's uncanny, but he's already beginning to make 6 Ultralisks. What in the world? And you know what? Ultralisks are a great stepping stone into Brood Lords. So right now, Stephano can tank so much damage from the ground army here with those 6 ultras. He just needs to wait for them to come out. MKP needs to be very careful. He needs to drop comsats here and take out the creep tumors, because if he doesn't, the ultra's going to run over his army. Now, he might be able to get the hatchery off, but now if he loses his entire army, he could suffer a huge counterattack and lose the game. The ultras are coming in. The tanks are in so much trouble. Look at how much damage Ultralisk can absorb. And MKP's army, will he be able to make a hold here? He's got actually a lot of tanks backing up here, and unreal, unbelievable. You know what, the rest of his forces off the creep, just on the borderline, and he had enough reinforcements coming in, but oh man, now he's extending even further, and I don't know, man, I don't agree with this. I think he should fall back and maybe just hold the high ground, secure the gold expansion. He just killed off a hatchery. There really is no reason to continue pushing here. It's very risky, as he's already got the advantage, but MKP knows best, man. He loves his aggression. It gets him in trouble sometimes. And we'll see, man. We'll see. He's going to continue this push at +1 weapons. The Zerg at 2-2, so Stephano has the upgrade advantage, but dare I say, maybe the over-greediness of tech and of the hatcheries has cost him because he just doesn't have that many units. Oh, man, this is a tense one. And, you know, MKP not even giving a care in the world. Oh, wow, he's dropping millions of mules. He's making it rain, and I think he's actually gonna win the game right now with just a straight-up push in the mid game, or in the early late game. Wow, unreal. And hey, this hatchery, remember before, it was hemorrhaging from the roots. It's gonna go down right now. Kaput. So 2 hatcheries down, and I think Stephano kind of in shock as well, because in the last game he completely humiliated MKP, and in this game MKP kills off a hatchery. Doesn't necessarily need to keep pushing. I think 90% of Terrans, okay, let me rephrase this. I think most Terrans outside of Korea would have stopped there and just secured this expansion, but he's Korean, and on top of that, he's Marine King. So he decided to keep pushing, and it worked. That was insane. And he dropped 1 million meals, so he must be feeling pretty confident right now, but he might get surrounded. No, I can't believe he just dropped all these meals. Kind of like a return of payback for, hey, you dropped hatcheries in my base on the Atlantis spaceship. Well, I'm dropping meals in your base now. And how do you like some of that? So this is just absolutely hilarious. MKP still doesn't know about the hatchery to the top right, but it's not like it matters now. He is so far ahead after killing 2 hatches that I don't know how Stephano can win this game now. He is maxed upgraded on the ultras, but MKP says, I don't care, running right into your ultras, and well played, calls Stephano. Always the GM player, as he is always calling out the well played. And I might be over-exaggerating the little taunts. It's always fun, you know, when you're playing StarCraft 2, you always do fun things if you're way ahead, or if you just want to kind of taunt your opponent a little bit. Doesn't necessarily mean it's bad manner or anything like that. But that was a really, really nice game by Marine King. You know, I just want to pull back to this scene once again, just to kind of reiterate to you guys, because you know, most Terrans outside of Korea would have stopped there. You know, they would have stopped the attack and said, hey, I'm doing great. Look at this. He attacks through, and surprisingly able to hold with his tank depth. He kills off this hatchery, and now he could have just sieged up right here, all of his tanks, dropped comsats, and controlled the center of the map. And not only that, he had the orbital command landing right here at the gold. But he decides to keep going. Now, this move right here, going into creep this deep, is so risky. It is beyond risky because he's ahead and he doesn't need to necessarily gamble his lead, you know? But he decided to do so, and you know, he's MarineKing.Prime, and he did it. That's the beauty of it. So that was a really nice game by MarineKing. I wonder if Stephano could have done anything differently here. Did he have his rally points reset? I think he did. I think maybe he just needed to just wait for all of his units to mass up enough before attacking, and maybe he needed to pull some drones as well. I don't know. It was a really close fought battle for Stephano. But MarineKing won, and now the series is tied up at 1-1 apiece. I hope you guys are excited. There's the millions of meals. Make money rain. All right, we're going to go into Game 3, guys. Hope you guys enjoy. And this is HD signing out.